Okay, there we go. Hopefully audio now. Yeah. Yep, okay. It is hot as hell. I know. We're supposed to be getting Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We're supposed to have temperatures up to 105 up here. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that at all. I'll have to be hiding out somehow, somewhere. I'm kind of pissed off too. I went out and contracted this job earlier on today. Actually, yesterday. And I was going to prep this swimming pool at this hotel down the street. And they ended up not paying me. They didn't want to pay me after I had the job done, because they knew that I'm some homeless guy out here, and they thought it'd be funny to fuck around a little bit. I mean, it's not the first time that's happened, but because you'll go out and you'll work a job, you'll do some type of side work for somebody, and they'll know that you're homeless and you need the money, and they'll procrastinate on paying you, and then when you get pissed off and you start barking at them like you want to get paid, then they go to the job that you were doing, and then they nitpick and keep nitpicking to justify not paying you as much as what you requested, knowing that you'll run a mile and get paid for a block. You know what I'm talking about? So I was supposed to get paid $100 for prepping this swimming pool, because they haven't had the swimming pool open for almost 2 years. So there was grown-up weeds around there, and there was just a bunch of crap all around the entire thing, and there was mold around the swimming pool, and there was grit. The swimming pool has this rail that's built into the concrete, so when people get out of the swimming pool, the water runs down into these rails and then goes and gets dumped, drains out. Well, since this thing hadn't been open for almost 2 years, it was just caked with crap. Just gunk was filled up in these rails. So I went in there with a hose and everything. I sprayed the hell out of it all the way around this pool and their hot tub. And around the hot tub was just as bad too. So I went out there like yesterday. I started at like about 10 o'clock, something like that, and was out there cleaning out those rails of all that grit and dirt and sand and all this other kind of crap that had accumulated inside the thing over 2 years. And then I was out there probably till about 5 or 6 o'clock yesterday, and then I left to come back in today at about noon. Since it was Saturday, I came in at about noon, and I was there till about I got done till about 4:30. I was going to be paid $100 for this, all right? I initially bid it out for $150, but they were like, oh, I can do $100. I'm sitting there thinking, well, you shitheads, you have any pool company come in and do what I'm about to do, and you're looking at a few $100. But I thought, since it'd be better for me to be doing this and make $100 doing this instead of sitting out in the heat and trying to figure out, sitting on my butt all damn day, So I started cleaning this pool, or cleaning around this pool. I didn't really get in and scrub much. I did eventually do that too. I kind of went above and beyond the call of the job. But I went in and scrubbed the pool a little bit. The bottom of the pool was all kind of green and it had nasty water in it, but they were going to put a pump in there and pump all that out. But anyway, so I went around meticulously and cleaned around the whole pool, the corners, sprayed everything, pulled all the weeds. And then, so today I was there till from 12 to about 4:30. Hey, Super Inventor, what's going on? Is there anything you can do? You need that money. Yeah, I know, Spencer. I do need that money. But this is what happened. So I was there till about 4:30 today. So that's about what? I don't know. I didn't even do the math in my head yet. But anyways, it kind of I kind of shafted myself on the job, obviously. But anyway, so 4:30 comes around, and I go and I approach the maintenance guy, and I tell him, okay, I'm done. Can you come and look at it? Obviously that means come and look at it. Tell me if there's anything extra you want me to do. Well, so he was just like, okay, okay, and then he got sidetracked, and his phone went off, and he's on his phone, and so he walks off, and I'm standing there. So then I went and tried to find the boss. See, this hotel, they just bought this hotel. I think they just bought it, but they're trying to get this hotel back up to par. Okay, it's a big hotel, or motel, I should say. It's a big motel. It's been here for like 50 years or something like that, 40 years, and they just bought it. And so there's a few of nobody wants to go in and work. So a lot of us here at the shelter are trying to go down there to work. And if you can work and put in all these hours to clean all these rooms and stuff, because it's a pretty good sized place. I mean, I don't know how many rooms they've got. Then, sometimes a lot of these people will ask to stay there, which obviously makes sense. I mean, if you've got room and board and you can work at the same place where you live, shit, that's even better because there's no travel costs. There's none of that crap you got to deal with. So, there's two people that I know of that normally would stay down here at the shelter that are now working over there at the Red Lion. So now they've got those two people who are doing rooms, and as far as then they have two people that they brought from Georgia in to help cover rooms. But one of those people is a maintenance guy, and that was the guy I talked to, and the other one is the one of the housekeepers from Georgia. So we have the housekeeper lady, we have two people from here. And those two people are, as far as I know, they have rooms there, and she has a room there. So they've got three people trying to do all these rooms. Then they have another guy who's also staying there who's doing just laundry. Okay, and they're pretty much filled almost every night. And I don't know, they got I don't know how many rooms they've got. I want to say they've got about 200 rooms. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm not really too sure because it's a big U-shaped building, and they've got rooms on the bottom and they've got rooms on the top. Well, maybe not 200. Maybe about 100, 120, something like that. It's over 100. And when you got 3 or 4 people doing those rooms, you're looking at each person attempting to do 20 rooms a day. Okay, so that doesn't necessarily work out. So you'll end up having some stayovers, some are too dirty, and they're just going to carry over till tomorrow, that kind of stuff. Okay, so you got all that crap you got to work with. Well, they're really busy. So I went down. So after I talked to the maintenance guy, letting him know that I'm done, I kind of stood around for about another 15 minutes or so. And I started going around, and I talked to a few other people I'm letting them know I'm done. Okay, a few other of those people, the other people that work there. Well, then I saw the owner flew in here too, so he's got to work here too. So I go and talk to him, and he's all mumbly and stuff. He doesn't even speak very good English, and so he's at the same time I'm talking to him, he's getting texts and shit on his phone, and he's sitting there texting and calling and talking to people and hanging up and radioing up, and I guess there's other people radioing him. Everybody has a radio there, so they're all talking to each other like, okay, we need linens in room 105 and crap like that. So they're too damn overwhelmed, and they're trying to hire people to come in so they're not so damn overwhelmed. But once they get them in, then they start kind of jipping them on hours and money. They want full absolute dedication, but they're going to pay you a fucking measly $10 an hour. Okay, now obviously that doesn't, in today's economy, $10 an hour does not work worth shit. So then you got taxes taken out and all that crap. So anyway, so I go and I find the boss man, and I tell him, okay, I'm done. And he kind of was like, okay, and then he starts walking off towards the swimming pool like he's gonna go check on it. Well, then he like disappears. You know, the way this place works is that, you know, if you're not right next to somebody and they walk around a corner, or they'll go into a room to check a room or something, they just disappear and you don't know what room they're in. So that kept happening, and I stood there, and it doesn't take 5 minutes to walk into the office or go up to the front counter and grab $100 out of the damn till and give it to me, and I can just leave. But instead, I stood around in the fucking heat of that damn the parking lot, waiting for them to pay me for an hour and a half. For a fucking hour and a half, waiting. After about an hour and a half, I just said fuck it and I left. You're now blacklisted on my on my businesses, never to fucking do any business with. And I did that the last time I was homeless. You know, I'd go out and find jobs, and I'd do jobs and stuff like that, and people would do that shit on purpose to get you irritated, where you'd bark at them, and then they'd get irritated, just using it as an excuse to get mad at you, go and nitpick on your job, and then say, well, look at this, you missed this, and look at this, you missed this. Dude, this isn't $100 job. We're just gonna give you $50. This is horrible. That's the kind of shit these people do here. You know, and so I just said, fuck it, you know, and I left. I didn't get paid for 2 days worth of labor or worth of work. And it was an agreement, you know, under the table, private money. And I don't know, I'm not going to go back there and get it. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit even though I'm homeless and I really need the fucking money. Dignity is above everything else. Dignity, you know, make sure you have some dignity. Don't let people fucking railroad you. Yeah, they got free labor out of me, but still, they're still shitty people. And the laws of attraction are going to make sure that they're not going to be very successful with their business. If you're gonna be that type of person, and you know, because a workman is worth their labor, is worth the pay. A good somebody who's good at their work is worth the pay that you give them. And too many of these people, too many of these owners and these business owners around here, anybody that has any work to do, once they find out what your situation of lifestyle is, they will purposely try to fuck your life up. I've met a lot of people like that. But then I've also met other people too that will consider what your situation is, and they'll actually pay you more. So it's like you either got the real stupid, shitty people out here, or you've got the people who are courteous and understand what your situation is. I mean, when I was going out and I was mowing lawns years ago, and I had my own small little lawn mowing business, I would tell people that if you're not going to pay me, I'm just going to walk off. I'm just going to walk off the job, and you're going to be blacklisted. I'm going to make sure I let everybody know who you are. You know, I mean, I'm half tempted just to go down here because we got a whole bunch of people hanging out here today down at the shelter here. Oh, that does remind me. I told you I moved. Or I didn't tell you. I moved. I had to move my trailer away from where I used to have it parked because the cops were coming over and barking at me saying, you got to have this thing moved. You got to move this. And I was like, well, yeah, I'll probably move it down the street or something, get it out of the way so it's not such an eyesore. No, you can't even have this thing on the street. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? Yeah, because I get pissy with these damn cops. I'm like, well, what the fuck? You know, why is it you guys will sit there and bark at us and tell us not to camp out, but then yet when we go outside of town and we find a place to camp, your bitch ass to turn around and bark at us about where we're camping outside of town. You do nothing but create fucking problems for people. That's the only thing you're doing, is creating fucking problems for people. Good, the area was terrible. Well, it's only like a half a block away. Well, actually, it's a whole block. It's one block away, right down from. I could pick up my camera and angle the camera down there, and you'd see everybody standing down there. Yeah, this area is a little bit more quieter. It's more hot because I'm not down out in the open a little bit more, so I don't have that cool breeze that comes through the trailer here. I don't have that. Yeah. And for those of you guys who are wondering, yeah, I tried to talk. I talked to Crystal the other day, and she doesn't want me coming home. The kids don't want me coming home. So this whole thing has just destroyed my home. Just destroyed everything I worked for fucking 20 years. If the state would have kept their fucking noses out of it, then I would have, we could have worked things out. We actually did work things out. We had everything worked out after about a week after the whole situation happened, but the fucking state wanted me to stay out of. They dragged this fucking shit on. They know what they're doing. They've done psychological tests, social tests on families and stuff. They know that all you got to do is separate people for up to 6 months, and it becomes a massive fucking problem for them to get back together. It is the surest way to destroy homes. And they make money off of, they make money off of all this shit. Because remember when I told you guys I sued child support back in 2011? And when I was doing that through discovery, I had found the whole fucking list of everything that the state gets to request federal funding off of. So off of our situation that just happened, they're going to be $15, $20, $30,000 over the next 2 or 3 years off of all the problems that they've created in our household. The state can get all that fucking federal funding. We're not going to benefit from it. I'm not going to benefit from it. Crystal's not going to benefit from it. They fucking take all this money and they pool it together and send it off, and there's all these indoctrinated fucks out there who are like, oh, we can allocate the funds towards more useful projects, towards more useful resources. And it's like, instead of giving you the money, that's how it works. But, so the state, if the state wouldn't have imposed or caused us to be separated for such a long time, then we wouldn't have had to, we would still be together. But right now, the whole house is falling apart. Yeah. Everything's destroyed. And it's ultimately going to be destroyed. Even the house itself. Not just the kids' lives, because they're already fucked over. They're completely, they're going to be parasites of society. They have no willpower to go outside, even fucking take the trash outside. This is what Crystal has turned the kids into. And the whole, I don't want to go back there, you guys, because the whole fucking house, I'm just going to walk away and let the whole place self-destruct. That's what I kept telling everybody, this is what needs to happen. You need to listen to me. You need to do this. Stay on par with that. Me and Crystal, we would get into fights sometimes and yelling matches and stuff, and she would be like, I do everything. I do fucking everything around here. Well, okay, now you've been there by yourself, handling everything, and now the house is falling fucking apart. Everything's, are these kids are hers? Are these kids yours or hers? Or both of us? Yeah. You guys know that. Allie and Cody are both mine and her kids. The whole YouTube channel has them on it. They're both of our kids. Yeah. Now they're playing this, dad is an abusive father, and we're scared of him and shit. Well, of course, he's dad. You're supposed to be scared of dad. He's the enforcer of the fucking house. Duh. Duh. Dad's not supposed to be a pamperer. Duh. My dad was never a pamperer. Dads are the enforcers. Yeah. So, dads are the ones who make kids strong. But why don't they want you home? Okay. The reason they don't want me home is because I'm the enforcer. I'm the one who tells them, get off the computer, take the garbage outside. I come in from outside, I say, Cody, I need your help outside. Okay. He gets off his computer, because they're always on the computer. Before all this happened, okay? Before all this happened, this is what I'm talking about. Before, okay? Get off the computer, come outside, help me pick up this wood, move these pallets around, whatever, anything outside. All right. He'd get up, look around the house, wander around the house for 5 or 10 minutes looking for his shoes that would ultimately, I would find after I come in going, where the hell you at? What's taking you so long? I'm looking for my shoes. And I'd look, and they'd be underneath the goddamn computer desk. Just dad's abusive, yeah. Any judge that, geez, I can't read it that fast, John. Any judge of kids without serious reasons should be hung. Yeah, I know. Okay, that parent, and she's not supporting you with the kids. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, she's not supporting me with the kids. Whenever, and there's been hundreds of times over the past 17 years where I say, okay, Allie was having trouble in 4th grade or whatever it was. I can't remember what grade it was. 5th grade maybe. She got into a spat with one of her friends. She had one good friend, and she got into this little spat with one of her friends, and her friend left and started hanging out with other kids. The first time. The first time she ever has an inclination in her life where she gets into a spat with one of her friends, and her friend leaves and goes off, starts hanging out with other people, Crystal, and she starts feeling sad about it, Crystal pulls her out of school. She took Allie out of school for 2 reasons, she says. One, because Allie just wasn't feeling good being at school because her friends were ignoring her. And 2, she didn't quite understand the math curriculum. What the hell? Cody stayed in school, so Crystal's idea was to homeschool Allie. I didn't like that idea. I didn't like that idea at all. Can you go for custody? I don't want custody. Dave, I don't want custody. I'll get into that later. So, all these years Allie's been out of school. Allie's never going to experience the snowball dance. She's never going to experience hanging out with her friends because she's at home on the computer all the damn time. She's never going to go to prom. She's never going to walk down the aisle to graduate. All this shit she's never, ever going to have. Stuff that we have all lived through, take advantage of, and we take for granted like it's just going to happen to everybody. Allie is never going to go through it because Crystal pulled her out of school and stuck her in front of a fucking computer. That's what happened to my daughter because mommy knows best. Now let's look at Cody. Cody, my boy, started out really good. But then he got onto the computer because Crystal went out and bought computers for everybody, and I told her that was a bad idea. That is not a good idea. You set up one computer for both kids and they have to learn to share. But she didn't do that. She wanted each one of them. And I knew the moment that happened that their fucking futures are over with. They're done. If you're still on the streets in the going, come to Montana and drag your ass to Texas. Yeah, everybody's telling me to move out of state, but you know, I can't. If I could move, I would. If I could get all my shit from the house and pull it out, get the Batmobile, get all my personal belongings, everything I've been dragging around with me my whole life. I've got one picture there, one picture that has me and my dad together before he died. Just one. There's only one in existence, and I can't leave that behind. I've got a cedar chest from my great-grandmother. I've got my pirate radio station. The entire setup. All the way down to the coaxial cable, the transmitter, the exciter, all that shit. All still there. I've got all that stuff that I've built up over the past 17 years. I got the Batmobile. I've got my computer systems all set up. I've got all that stuff. I can't, it would be blatantly wrong for me to work my ass off for all that shit and just walk away from it. And yeah. Now let's look at Cody. All the way, Cody wanted to stay in school. He liked to be in social with kids. He liked going out and playing and stuff like that. All the way up until about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he wasn't having, he started having some social problems with people, with kids at school. So he was playing the stupid, I'm sick game, I want to go home. But the reason he was doing that is so that way he could come home and get on the computer. Wrangler Dave, I need to talk to you privately after your stream. All right, Dave. All right, yeah. Well, shoot. See, I've been trying to connect to the Wi-Fi so I could read your guys' texts, and the Wi-Fi is not working. I'm too damn far away from it, so I can't connect to any Wi-Fi. I mean, there's a whole shitload of Wi-Fis on here, but they're all private homes and stuff around here, you know. But so anyways, so Cody started pulling that crap, and I knew what he was pulling. You know, I'm not stupid, I'm not ignorant. You know, I did the same crap when I was in school. You know, I wanted to go home, but in my situation, I wanted to go home and go jump on my bike and go right out to the park. You know, that's what I wanted to do. But he wanted to come home and get on the computer. There were times when he would wait for the bus to pick him up and take him to school, but he would wait until the very last minute. He'd stay on the computer playing games and stuff until the very last minute and then put his shoes on and then run out the door. In 1 week, he missed the bus 4 times. 4 damn times. I had to get up, I had to get dressed, start my truck, get him in the truck, and then go and drive him to school, where he'd always miss his first period, okay? Wow. So you're talking about abuse on her part. Can CPS help? I don't want to get CPS involved. CPS, they're a shitty organization. I'll tell you what I'll tell you guys what I'm gonna do eventually, but you guys need to understand the foundation of why all this happened. You need to understand the foundation, because it's cause and effect. So there were many times, then we tried to get the kids into homeschooling programs, because we've got a homeschooling program. There's a few of them around here. And yeah, calling CPS for help. Yeah, basically it's like calling Satan. Yeah, right, yeah. Well, there were other things that happened in between there too. A whole bunch of other little things too. A lot of times I would try to get Crystal, on board to get involved with things around the community. I wanted to get the kids involved at the children's theater. I wanted them to, and it always came down to, oh, it was such a great idea. Yeah, I'm on board with you, totally. Everything's great. It sounds like a great thing. Boy, but then when it came down to the actual execution, okay, today is the day. They're doing auditions for this and that. Let's go down there. The kids wouldn't want to go. They get all fussy and pissy because they have to get off the computer because they're on fucking Discord or Gary's Mod or Roblox, fucking around on the damn on the computers, and they wouldn't want to go. And I lay down the law. Come on, God damn it, let's go. We had this plan for like a week and a half to go. And then Crystal would take the kids aside. They don't want to go. This happened consistently, over and over and over and over again. I tried to get other people involved. I tried to say something to her brother who had moved in. Help me out with this. Help me get her on board with me. I don't want these kids turning into fucking fat, nasty, wastoid fucking parasites of society. That's exactly what she turned them into. But the thing is that me and Crystal one time, we got into a conversation, and I made sure I got her a little tipsy and drunk, because that's the cool thing about alcohol, is it's a truth teller. what she wanted to do, what she had said to me was that she doesn't want. I got on the subject of what happens when Allie reaches 18 or when she turns 16, because this is a few years ago. What happens when she turns 16, 17, or 18 and she wants to go out and she's interested in boys and she wants to go out? She needs to have the social structure behind her so she knows how to talk to guys, how to be able to meet guys. So that way, and when she turns 18, 19, 20, whatever, and she meets somebody, she can move out and she can start her own family or hook up with the guy and she can start her own life, because that's the goddamn fucking point of having children. To increase your bloodline, to carry on your fucking family name. That's the whole goddamn point behind having children. You don't have children like you fucking go out and go to Walmart and buy a fucking refrigerator because you want one. You do it for a goddamn reason. There's substance behind the point behind having children in your life. So, she turns around, she tells me, no, I don't want Allie moving out. I don't want Allie and Cody moving out. And I'm like, wow, that's the whole point. That's the point behind having families and getting your kids to meet other people and stuff. That's the whole point. No, because I don't have anybody in my life, and when I get old, they're going to have to stick around and take care of me. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what the fuck? You're going to intentionally shelter these kids. This is what's going through my head. You're going to intentionally shelter the shit out of these kids, make sure they have no social skills, no conflict resolution skills, absolutely no fucking talent whatsoever, because you're too fucking afraid to be alone and you need to have them around to take care of your ass when you're old. You're going to purposefully, intentionally destroy their fucking future so that way they're around to take care of your ass. How many fucking levels of wrong is that? And that's exactly what she's doing out there. I helped her build. We went from being homeless to owning our own house and owning our own property, an acre of property, in 10 years. That's not her motivation. Look behind me. In the time frame from me being homeless, I've got pictures on a laptop from when I first started being homeless all the way up until now. I've built up my stuff. I invest, I figure out what I need to have, and I go for it. I don't sit on my fucking ass and wish my damn life away and wish things would get better. I try to make this shit happen. That's how I was when I was with Crystal. I took this girl away from a family that did nothing but their only motivation was to sell a bunch of fucking Xanaxes and Fioricet and a bunch of pills and drive around town all damn day and do their little deals so they have their pills and their money. I took her away from that lifestyle and put her in and helped her build up a lifestyle of having something that's respectable in society. That's pretty damn impressive, going from homeless to owning your own property in 10 years. That's shit that most people can't do or have the motivation or the lust or the knowledge to do in fucking 20 or 30. But now that the lifestyle that she comes from and the lifestyle that I come from are two different things. So now that we have separated, she's going right back to that same old lifestyle. And you guys can go over to my channel and go to the discussion tab on my channel, and you can look at the pictures of what the house looks like now since I've been gone for 8-9 months. The whole, I mean, it's done a 180. If you guys remember how nice how I had, I mean, it's weeded over the whole, everything's, my whole garden's dead. The garage is filled up with a bunch of fucking crap that most likely has been stolen. Oh my God.
Yes.
And I don't know. And on top of that, she's gotten 2 dogs. She went and got 2 dogs, even though I told her don't get dogs. We've got fucking 8. At the time, we had 9 cats. We got 9 cats. That was great. It was fun. You know, boy, I was having so much fun with the kitties. And she wanted a dog, and I told her no, we're not gonna get. She wanted, at first we had Ashley and Alice, and then we had Nova. So we had 3 cats. But then she wanted to get a dog. She wanted to get a big dog, and I says no, we're not gonna get a big dog, because then that means our yard is gonna be filled with big old huge chunks of dog shit all over the damn place. And then we're going to be driving through that stuff with the go-karts flinging dog shit all over us, all right? So what she do? She goes out and she gets us 6 more cats. So now instead of having big clumps of fucking big dog shit all over there, we got all these little kitty shit all over the fucking lawn that we drive through with the go-karts. Yeah, great. All right, but the cats were different. The cats would actually go and they had their own places, and they kind of stayed out of that area, you know, where we drove. So that wasn't really that big of a deal. But since I've been gone, she has now 2 dogs. Gizmo died. Landmines, yeah. And if you guys do want to help, I do have a PayPal link down below. Yeah. Considering I got dicked over by the fucking Red Lion, that's not the first time that's happened either. There's also been other simple little shit that I've done around here too that I haven't gotten compensated for. But there have been a good amount of you who donated via PayPal have really, that's really filled in that gap of stuff that I've put my effort into and everything. I hate relying upon the donations as a form of income, but I can't get the AdSense money anymore because that my AdSense account was associated with Crystal's account. So after it would reach that $100 threshold, then the money would go off into her account. But now that we're not together anymore, I had to sever and cut off that amount, and then the $100 payout threshold that reaches it, and then they send it out. Now that has to, I can change that amount in my AdSense account. I can change that amount, and I raise that amount to such a massive amount that until I can figure out a way to get a actual bank account, then I'll be able to turn that thing back on, have that money dumped into my account. But it's such a massive amount, I'm never going to get paid anyways until I change it. So, anyways, so whenever anybody super chats on Google here on the super chats, that money I'll probably never see until I can get my own bank account somehow, some way. But anyways, so now I've got so after, let's see. So now I've got, where was I at there in the story? Hey, I'm sorry. Sign up for Venmo or Cash App. Yeah, I've got Cash App. I think I do. But it's on my phone. I can't be looking around on my phone here when I'm doing this. I'm pretty sure I have Cash App. Oh yeah, I mean if I've got the money and I but you guys need to understand I need to be able to get my stuff from the house and transport it to another place. And I'm telling you, I mean it's two, most likely it's two semi loads of stuff. That counts my clothes, some of the furniture and stuff that I've got. I've got hutches, stuff that I personally bought with my own. And then you got the Batmobile, you got all my builds, the steel, bandsaw, cut-off saw, drill press. You know what I'm talking about, all my spare parts, my whole, because I had, the way I set everything up, I had my electrical section where all my electrical stuff was at. I had my electronics section where computers and tablets and phones and all that kind of crap and cameras, all that stuff was set up. I had areas where all my older stuff was at, all my ham radio equipment, because I'm a ham radio operator too, where I was. So all my ham radio equipment, my CBs, my 2 meter ham radios, I had all that stuff. You know, you're looking at an entire life, a whole home. How old are your kids now? Allie just turned 17, and Cody just turned 14. Yep. Yeah, and my go-karts and my badass go-karts. Yeah. Yep. Yep. You know. If I could find some place here in town, some people who have, you know, some house that they need somebody to take care of, or a shop out on the outskirts of town. See, I can't go out more than like, going out even 10 miles out of town. I'm hacking into gas. You know, it's going to cost so much gas money to go in and out of town. And when I lived out there, I was going in and out of town maybe once or twice a day. So now that's, if I'm 10 miles out of town, that's 20 miles out of town. That's 20 miles every day. Gas, and it's a higher expense rate. You reach a threshold. The further away you get from town, the more money you really need to have. The closer into town you're at, the less money you have to have. When you're in town, you're looking at spending 20s of dollars, 20, 40, 60, $80 per day living here in town. When you're outside of town, on the other hand, you got to tack on an extra zero on all that shit. My go-kart player. Oh shoot, I can't read this stuff fast enough. When you guys type big texts, I can't read it fast enough on my camera here because I'm not hooked to Wi-Fi, so I can't go onto my live stream right now and read your guys' texts. I'll have to wait until later. Yeah, see, I'm not reaching Wi-Fi at all. See, because I'm going directly with my data. I'm using my data. I went down and got one of those $55 cards, Straight Talk cards from Walmart, so I've got endless data on my phone, so I can stream all the damn time. And that's another expense. That's another dang thing I got to pay for. So I can stay connected with the dang world. Because once I've lost my phone for. Actually, Crystal stopped paying on the phone for like 2 weeks before I went down and had to set things up. And man, I was completely disconnected from everybody. Facebook, I didn't know anybody, what was going on my family side back in Iowa, or nothing. Yeah, the Batmobile is cool. Can't you hotspot to your tablet? I tried doing that, but for some reason I can't convert my phone to a hotspot while I don't know, I might be able to, but I don't want to try it now when I'm live streaming. If I use the hotspot on my phone and I'm using my data right now, and then switch over to using the Wi-Fi hotspot with my tablet, because you can't use data and Wi-Fi at the same time. You either use one or the other. So I don't think it would happen. I vaguely remember trying to do that once before, but it didn't work. You know, and I'm going out and I've got this. I work a job with this guy, and all we do is like outside work, decking and stuff like that. But we haven't worked. I haven't worked for him for almost a week and a half to 2 weeks. Up until like not yesterday, but the day before that. Was it Thursday? I think Wednesday or Thursday. He called me up and he was like, yeah, because he's been sick. He went down to Stevensville and did a floor down there, and that by himself for about 4 or 5 days. And then while he was down there, something happened with his daughter, so he had to go and meet up with his daughter at the hospital, and that was 2 or 3 days right there, no work. And then he got sick, and then he's been sick. And then the other day, like Thursday, I think it was, he he called me up and says, "Yeah, you wanna come and do some work?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So we went. He brought me to a specific job that they needed certain things done around these sheds out in the back of their property. They had these two sheds that they needed repainting. So he gave me the paint and the brushes and the scrapers and all that kind of stuff. And I did the job all by myself. And then he left. So I did the whole job by myself. So he contracted that job out for maybe 250, $300 or something like that. And then I only got paid like 30. Because I work for $10 an hour under the table. And it's I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. I know that when you contract somebody out and you pay them under the table, it's actually more of a benefit to you as the business owner, because now you don't have to pay the taxes on that person. You don't have to pay the unemployment, and you don't have to pay insurance. So those are three elements of financing you don't have to pay when you hire somebody privately. So paying them $10 an hour is like that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? You can afford to pay that person 15 or $20 an hour because you don't have to pay all that extra coverage. You see what I'm saying? So, it's a benefit to businesses when you can hire people privately because you don't have to keep records of it. There's a difference between what operates on the public side and the private side of businesses. And it's obviously it is an okay thing to do. You know. I mean, the senators do it all the damn time. All these higher up people, they do it all the time. But anyways, so I got paid $30 for them, and then I think 20 of that went into the gas for my truck, and then I went and got something to eat, and then bought a pack of smokes. Uh, that was it. And then once I hit this job here at the Red Line to do their swimming pool, they turn around, dick me around. We were just too damn busy to take 5 minutes to walk into the office and get you your money and pay you. I could have been a really good employee to them. I could have come in out because I walked around through the building. I looked at shrubs that needed to be cut down, sidewalks that needed to be swept and kept clean, weeds that needed to be pulled. I could have went over there and done all that shit, done all that. You know, I'll keep track of my hours. It's kind of like what I used to do down there at the Super 8 when I used to work with Crystal down there at the Super 8. You know, the owner would say, yeah, have him come in, especially during the summertime. I would come in and I would help Crystal with her rooms because she also did laundry. So doing rooms and doing laundry. Hey, Adsar, what's up? Yeah, maybe. I mean, right now, I mean, this whole situation where I invested so much of my energy into creating a family and a home, this has totally destroyed all my faith I have in in women. Yeah, yeah. Talk a fucking good game. Yeah. Keith Bedeau. You remember me? No, I don't, Keith. Maybe you contacted me on Facebook once, didn't you? Trailer is looking nice. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know, Clayton. Yeah. I've got a lot more knowledge on how to when the thing is that when you have like from in her situation, when you've rented an apartment for so many damn years and decades, and you've been with crappy people in your life, and they haven't made their payments to their portion of rent, and then you're carrying them, and you're moving from one apartment to another apartment, or you're going to a hotel. When you live that kind of life, and then suddenly now you have a home, you cannot treat the home like you did your fucking apartments. You have to home like it's a home and not like it's a fucking apartment, which means you have to pay for the hot water heater to be fixed. You have to cover all that stuff. You do not treat a home like you would an apartment. There's two different ways to deal with that kind of crap, and you have to be able to learn how to do it and be disciplined enough to be able to make sure that you can maintain a home and not treat it like it's an apartment. You know, oh well, the fucking molding's coming off. Oh well, big fucking deal. No, fix that goddamn shit. Fix it. Don't sit there and wait for the whole fucking you don't pile up your damn clothes in the bathroom because you're too damn lazy to take it to the washing machine, and that shit accumulates moisture, and now you've got black mold going up the entire fucking wall of the damn bathroom. You need to maintain that shit. You need to be responsible, focused, and keep your shit going. And everybody in the whole household needs to have that same mentality. And that's what I was trying to do. That's what I was trying to do. You got to be you got to show that you got some self-worth in this fucking household. Have some substance, not just talk a fucking good game. You got to be worth a shit. Yeah. That's what I was trying to do at the house and stuff. I mean, yeah, I do admit that there were a lot of times and I would just be constantly on Allie and Cody's butt, barking at him. Get off the computer, go pick up your clothes in the shower, in the bathroom, flush the damn toilet. You know what I'm saying? Take the trash out. When you take the trash out, just don't take the kitchen trash out. You got to go through the bedrooms. You got to go through the bathrooms. You got to take all the trash out all at once. And then when you take the trash out, replace it with a bag. Just don't go in there and grab all the bags and throw them in the primary trash and go throw it out and then jump back on your computer. You need to replace the bags in all the trashes. Do that. Just little shit like that I kept trying to get them on board to do. And then there were times when they would not. The fucking games were way more fucking important when they're playing with their friends and shit like that. And I'd get pissed off at them. They'd go to bed, and I'd take the damn computers. I'd unplug the damn things, turn them off, shut them down, and I'd take the computers and I'd go stick them down in the basement. You're grounded. You're grounded off the computers for 3 days. Well, by fucking day number 2 or day number 1, Chris will be coming down in the basement, coming out in the garage, bitching at me because I took the damn computers away and I'm being too damn mean to the kids. Whenever he was moved out. Oh, shit. I couldn't read that fast enough, Dave. Okay, I was asking about a while back when someone was put together a motor block, and I was asking it how to make it. Ask if it was going, how it worked if you ever got it going. Oh, that transmission thing. That's right. Yeah, that was another thing I wanted to work on. Yeah, I never did be able to. I know it would work. I know it would work because the guy who built that thing up and sent it to me, because I was going to put that in a real cool build. I mean, we had that all planned. I had all the alignment and everything. All I needed to do was just build the frame up that would bracket the transmission to the motor and then put up all the shifting gears and the links and stuff, and I'd be able to do that. Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing I can't. I won't be able to do. Yeah, I know it was really cool, Keith. I know it was really cool, and I feel bad because William. Yeah, William was the guy who sent. Yeah, he sent me that transmission. He did the work on all that thing, and I wanted to do something with that thing so bad, but I could never get up. I either never had the time to do it, or I never had the money to do it. I feel so bad about that. Yeah, we tried doing that too. We tried doing the turning off, setting up the Wi-Fi. Crystal went out and got a specific thing that would turn the computers off and actually dictate what websites they could go to. Well, the kids are smart. They know how to get in there and they know how to change all those parameters. And if they can't do it, then they call her up and be bitching on the phone. Mom, I was just in the middle of a goddamn game that I've been playing for like 2 hours with my friends, and now the Wi-Fi just turned off, and I can't get on it, and now you want me to do my damn schoolwork. They'd get all pissed off and hang up on the phone at her, yell at her and stuff, and she'd feel bad. She'd feel like she's a bad mom because the kids are not happy with her. So what'd she do? She'd fucking turn the damn Wi-Fi back on from work there and allow them to do it. She's a fucking weak link. She lets the kids make decisions for the household, and that's a shitty fucking mom. I'm sorry to say, but yes, that's a shitty fucking mom. You never ask the kids, what would you like to happen in the house? You know, you don't allow. Oh man, that was the first time that I got a little irritated with her, and when she turned around, she let Allie and Cody choose the colors that they wanted to paint their rooms. Guess what the first color was? Black. I'm like, what the fuck? No. No, no, no. You paint it some type of, either paint it white or you paint it some type of pastel, a lighter color. Because darker colors make people depressed. It's a psychological thing. Darker colors make people depressed. You don't want kids to be depressed. Shit like that. You need to have lighter colors, pastels, fuchsias, stuff like that. It's a psychological thing. But she let Cody paint his room with a light green, which really wasn't all too bad. It actually looked kind of good with the blue carpet. And then Allie was like a folk stone gray, which was like a grayish blue, but it still looked all right. So yeah, okay, I didn't complain about that after it was done. Yeah. No, no. That's right. If you keep the discipline out of the household, then the kids don't grow up with guidance. Yeah, I know. I kind of, you don't realize you're a shitty parent until you fucking hear the sound of that gavel hitting the fucking sentencing your kid. It's better for them to learn humility on the back end of your hand than to have them learn it from a fucking sound of a gavel in the courtroom. I've said that consistently. There's meaning behind that. What color would you use if you have a camo? Hey, what color would you do if you have camo bedding set? My house is being built. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Yeah, that's right. That's in the Bible. We aren't raising children. We are raising adults. That's right. That's right. You don't raise children. You raise adults. That's right. It's not just fancy shit to say. That's stuff to live by. Okay, if you have A camouflage bed set. What color would you paint the inside of your bedroom? Well, if okay, um, leave the camouflage bed set for your man cave. You know, if it's gonna be your home and you want, color wise, you want pastels. Yeah, you camouflage bed set. I don't know. I mean, it sounds cool and all, but if you're gonna paint the inside of your bedroom, technically, what you want to do, it kind of. I mean, you always want your walls to be a light color, because if you have dark colors, it's depressing. It's a psychological thing, and you can have white walls with dark accent, and if you dark lining, or accents that go along the corners of the room. You can do that. Go with a specific color if you want. If you like classy stuff like what I like, you can go with bronze or brass handles. Door handles, brass or bronze fixtures over your plugins, over your plug-in fixtures. That's really nice. That's a nice accent. Yeah, thumbs up the video, people. We got 15 people watching right now. There should be 15 thumbs up. Or 15 thumbs downs. No. Yeah. And then, there are other things too that were going on in the house that, you know, there were some good things, but it was like a constant. Crystal wasn't the type of girl that liked to go out. She didn't like fancy shit. I'm the kind of guy, I like to go out to a fancy restaurant, eat good food. I like to dress up and, classy and go out and do something, you know. But she didn't like that. She just want to sit on the couch and eat and fucking watch Netflix. And it wasn't just that, but it was like a constant. I mean, everything, the books she reads, the movies she watches, the episodes, the seasons, and everything that she watches either has to do witches, vampires, warlocks. It's all this fantasy crap, and I'm just like, and then here's me studying law and studying structural analysis and dealing with all this like real world shit. I kept telling, there's a lot of things, a lot of times I was like, help me out with this, will you? I don't understand it. I don't care about it. She was a very disrespectful individual when it came to the idea of family and her guy, the man. I'm like some subclass of the fucking human nature. Men are the subclass. Women are more important. They're the ones who all the laws are steered towards. They're the ones who get all the assistance. They're the ones who will have all the social structures, the groups that they can go to. And I'm just like, you do realize that the reason all that shit is set up is because all that help is set up for people who can't deal with shit. Support groups and all that crap. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a sexist thing to say, but it's fucking real. Rules and laws and support groups and fucking assistance programs are not set up for people who don't need it. It's set up for the people who do need it. You know? Laws aren't set up for the strong people. Laws are set up for the weak ones. That's why they're set up that way. You're not a better person because you get food stamps. You're worse. You can't self-govern your own life. So you have to turn to an assistance program because you can't deal with the shit. And that goes across the entire spectrum of law, spectrum of assistance programs. The more you want, the more you go out and try to find help, the more pathetic it makes you look. If you can self-govern your own ass and deal with shit your own way, you don't need all that assistance. A lot of people don't agree with me on that stuff, but shit, that's just the way it is. That's the reason why all this stuff is all set up. I mean, you don't even have to take my word. Fuck, you can look into the congressional record. You should see some of the shit that's said in those things. Oh my God, the way these senators talk about, especially when you get back into the New Deal, back in 1933. Holy crap, that's nuts. Some of the stuff they were saying. We're going to set up this Social Security program and these social assistance programs because women have the burden of taking care of children. Children are a burden to them. That shit's on the fucking congressional record. Having kids is a burden. I know, it's fucking crazy. It's like, wow, man. If you were to talk that way in public now on a camera, everybody would be like ostracizing you. It's just, whoa, holy crap. When they set up the Federal Reserve out there on Jekyll Island, wow. All that stuff is recordized and everything. The stuff that was talked about there. It was supposed to be a secret meeting, but, they kept records of everything that was said, like you're supposed to. Yeah. Wow. All these higher ups see us underlings. It's like, yeah, these people are so pathetic. They're turning to us and asking us for help. Yeah. Gunmetal color. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, gunmetal. Yeah, that. I can't think of what that's called. I know it's a specific name. Not tarnished. It's bluing. I think that's what they call it, isn't it? Bluing the metal. That's what it's called. That's why some guns have that, instead of having that real nice shiny coating, but they're silver, but there's something about it. Find them, fuck them, and forget them. Yeah. Gunmetal gray, like a battleship. Yeah. Yeah, Wrangler Dave, yeah. Yeah, that's hard. Yeah. Yeah, this is one of my many creature comforts. Kool-Aid. Yeah, I love this stuff. Court news, T-Man. I'm wondering why they called that, though. Court news. Yeah, court news. Yeah. Start doing videos about court stuff and Supreme Court rulings. Do you know, you guys aren't going to believe this. The newest Supreme Court justice who passed away, or not the newest one, but the last one that passed away, she she came forward and said that the acceptable age for girls, okay, now these Supreme Court justices go back into history. All of our laws and all of our rules are all dictated based upon two areas: the Bible or Blackstone's commentary. So all of our laws and contract law, except for contract law, that comes from Roman our statutes and stuff. That all comes from Roman civil or Roman statute merchant law, law of the sea, and it's all contract law and stuff. But anyways, she came forward in one of her Supreme Court rulings. It was a dissent. She didn't agree with what the other justices had come to a conclusion in a certain case. She said that the acceptable age for girls to be sexually active and marry is 13. 13. Because based upon all of our laws and everything that stems from Old English law, like Blackstone's commentaries, it comes from the kings and the queens and that type of structure, because our courts ultimately, back in the day when you would approach the king and you'd have to petition the king for a grievance, and you'd walk into their courts, you'd have the king sitting up there on the throne, and then you'd have all these people standing around, and you'd go in and you would express what your grievance is or what you were requesting the king to do, and everybody standing around are the record. They are the record keepers. They are what we would call today the stenographer, or the person who keeps record, or otherwise known as the clerk. The clerk keeps record of the entire case, and then of what gets filed into the case. And back in those days, who kept record of what happens in the courtroom between you and the other person, or the king? Well, it was all the concubines. Everybody standing around who keeps record and remembers. That was the memory of the court. A lot of our court systems and stuff like that stems back to the way things were done when you would go in front of the king. I call BS on the so-called controversial and their front my dead hands crap. I think they're all too comfy with there being screen TVs and their couches, and they're gonna do whatever they're told. Ginsburg philosophy was old enough to bleed, old enough to breed and be married off. Ginsburg, yeah, that's who she was. Philosophy was old enough to bleed, old enough to breed, and be married off. Yeah, Justice Ginsburg, yep, that's who she was. And a lot of these people get a lot of their tenor knowledge from Old English law. You have to study Old English law to understand where our laws are based off of. And you got to be into the Bible and the Kabbalion, or not the Kabbalion, but the Kabbalah. Yeah, these people are high. They learn this stuff purposely. Yeah, Islam has the right idea on some things. Yeah, but in our system nowadays, there's a lot of systems that technically we operate. We have two United States in our we have the United States of America, and then we have the United States, which is the 10-mile square area there in Washington. America, the United States of America, is a different, that's the land mass. That's all of the states unified. But then you've got the United States, which is it's a copyrighted name, and all the administrative contract law stuff, Department of Health and Human Services, Guns and Firearm, Tobacco, all those administrative agencies have their center hub in the United States. And the United States is within that 10-mile square in Washington, D.C. And then all the states, the unions, all our individual states go into contracts with that little section, that little 10-mile section. And when they go into contract with all that, now that central hub, which is, I don't know, corporate office, controls all these statutes that go out through the whole states. Everything we operate in today's system is all contract law. It's all based off of contracts. If the state agrees to go into contract with this administrative agency that's located in United States, that's up there in Washington, then the whole state has to operate based upon those contracts. And the process of operation and how you live and how you do your conduct if you're involved in that administrative agency are certain rules and provisions of your way to operate under the privilege that they're giving you. So you contract into it, and now you become, in essence, you sign your constitutional rights away in favor to receive a privilege. That's how it works. That's one of the reasons why they try to get people to, the first primary contract that they put you under is your birth certificate, your social security number. That's the first primary contract that they put you under. And it's done under the grantor of the trust, which is mom. Your mom authorizes you, the beneficiary, to receive this number so that way you can pay into Social Security and receive the Social Security benefits when you go to retire. Not realizing that she's agreeing to you getting this number, and the moment you receive that privilege, you now get, your ass gets puts under every single state, well, what we call laws. That puts you under that contract on every single statute, federal, state, everything. You ever have a kid and you don't want to get a birth certificate and you don't want to get a social security number, they will not let you leave the hospital. They call CPS to come in, which is a contract, and you've never contracted into them, but they make you think that you have to do it. They'll have fucking a squad of cops outside. They won't let you leave the hospital until you get fucking that kid contracted in. It's happened a lot. I've read stories about it. I mean, there was a couple up in Canada who tried to do it. No, we're just going to have our kids. When you're like the Amish and those people who have children on their property in their districts, on their land and stuff, they will not let those kids out. They don't let the kids out unless they have some type of provisionary itemized number contract. And it's not classified under the Social Security, it's classified under something else, some type of, I watched a video on it once where they were explaining it. But, like if you want the privilege of getting, see, realistically, the United States of America, under those type of rules and those regulations, if we were operating under those, you could go and get in your car, turn the key, it would start up and you could drive it. You could operate, you could travel with this conveyance, okay? Because you're not going to put your key in and start the thing up and suddenly have a fucking heart attack. A boulder of a fucking rock isn't going to come up out of the ground and stab through the car and blow it up. It's a natural occurrence. If you can do it, you have the right to do it. It's something that is a distilled energy that's inside of your body to be able to execute a certain activity. But under the administration of Department of Motor Vehicles, that's their head office is in Washington, that's in the United States 12 section area. The states contract into their provisions, into those rules, and they create the DMV in the state. So if you want to operate a motor vehicle in the state, then you have to contract in, get the license, give the okay to receive the privilege of driving around in their state, even though you can do it for free. You can do it without contract. But once you go underneath that contract, you are now receiving the privilege of driving your car wherever you want to drive it. But if you receive the privilege, you also receive the corresponding liability behind it. So now we have, as the cops would say, or judges and attorneys, we have the right to impose a charge on you if you don't have insurance. If you run into a light pole, now we can charge you. See, if you didn't have that kind of stuff backing your ass up and you didn't contract into them, then they have no leverage against you because you're not receiving the privilege. But they make it, and they know that's the correct way. They know it, but they don't want people to understand it because there's so much money that's made off of it. They can control people. They don't want people to know that they have the freedom to literally do goddamn anything they want to do. They want you underneath some type of fucking contract because if your conduct is not good, they can hurt you. They can harm you. Like in our situation, me and Crystal, we weren't getting along. We weren't seeing eye to eye with the parenting type of things. We get into a big fight. She calls the PD. The PD show up and pull me out of the house. Now, what gives them the jurisdiction to come into our house and pull me out of the house? It's because she has received benefits and privileges from the state under the Parents Patriae doctrine. If you're receiving benefits and privileges from the state, especially when children are involved, the state becomes the parent of the children. That is why the state can come in through CPS and take people's children out of their home. The moment you get food stamps, housing, electrical assistance, you turn to any one of these programs, if you read the fine print on all that contract shit, all that paperwork that you sign, if you read the fine print, you agree to sign the rights of your children over to the state. That's what you're doing. You've just given your kids fucking away. The only reason they live in your house is because you're a custodial parent. That's the way they see it. You're just a custodian. You're just a they're what is it? Not penal code. It's ancillary possession. That's what it is. The children now become the ancillary possession of the state through their Parents Patriae doctrine. So the state comes in, pulls me out. Technically, they don't give two shits about the living, breathing children at all, or Crystal or anybody. All they care about is making sure that they can protect their assets, make sure that these items stay functional so they can generate more money off of what their conduct is going to be later. They don't care about the fucking people themselves. They just care about their ancillary possessions, the things that they have claimed to. You've signed your children off to receive our benefits and privileges. You've benefited of receiving food stamps or housing assistance. So we're going to take your kids, claim your kids as part of our own personal ancillary possessions, utilize their social security numbers, create bonds and securities on them, and throw that shit out into the Dow so our state can make more money. And that's a whole more shit that I could explain, but I'm not going to get into that. But I mean, that stuff in this black bag right here that I have behind me explains all that shit. It goes all the way back to the 1892, back to the fucking congressional acts that were being created for right before the Big Depression, when the country went bankrupt in 1933, and they had to convert our entire fucking, because one of the things is that if a country goes bankrupt, according to international law, if a country goes bankrupt, it cannot make any more laws. The sovereign cannot become sovereign from the people because they can't make any more laws because they're bankrupt. They have no money, no form of financing, no form of anything. So when our country went bankrupt in 1933, the creditors that we owed, that the United States owed, wanted all our gold. So we went out and our country had to turn around, turn in your gold, your silver. So when all these citizens were bringing in fucking hordes of gold because our country is bankrupt and we need to use this gold to help finance, and if you don't bring your gold in, we're going to arrest you. Thousands and thousands of people would bring their gold and silver in. When they did that, technically they told everybody that we need help. We need your gold and silver so we can pay off our debt. But that's not what the real reason was. The real reason is because the creditors, which were these banks that were over in England and stuff, that helped our get to where it was at, wanted our gold and silver, but they needed to replace it with something. So once you take all the gold and silver away, because you're now a bankrupt country and you can't make any more laws, what do? How are you going to create any type of system that people have to obey? Because you can't make laws anymore. So since the country is bankrupt, they created financial laws. Laws that are all based on commerce. And the only way you can create commerce and financial laws is by creating companies and corporations. Hence, the United States 10 square mile area in Washington generated a lot more power over that, because they're not congressionally created administrative agencies. Well, they are congressionally created administrative agencies, but they have free reign. They're bureaucrats and not politicians. So they're bureaucrats, and they create all these laws and all these statutes, because a statute is a rule that you have to obey, and if you don't obey it, you get a civil action. Civil is financial. Criminal is a penalty. Like, if you do something wrong, our courts technically are supposed to either be civil or they're supposed to be criminal. So if you do something wrong, you're either going to jail or you pay a bunch of money. But after 1933, when they converged civil and equitable cases together, now you serve time and you fucking pay money. So they do both to you at the same time. And it becomes a financial thing. See, when you go down, on the back end of cases, you have a case always has a court case. Now, it's hard for us to go back and study the court cases back in the day, how they conducted them. Yeah, it's like they can legally sell your kids. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do it to us. The moment you're born, they collateralize your social security number. They collateralize your birth certificate. Look at your birth certificate. Just look at that thing. It's all bordered. It's a bond is what it is. It's got the pretty bordering around it. If you look down in the corner of your birth certificate, it'll say some type of bank note or certified by Northwestern Banking Corporation or whatever. It's a bank note because you're collateralized. And it's written in real fucking small print down in the lower left-hand portion of your birth certificate. You can see it really, you have to look really, really close. And all bonds always have to have a security number to them. And that's what that number is. That's on the front of your birth certificate, and on the back of your birth certificate is a red number. One number represents your collateral of your height, weight, it's the merchandise that was created. And then the other number is the number that gets classified into, I can't remember what that one's classified as. But in essence, you've heard the term that every single time a baby is born, or anybody who's ever born into this world here in the United States, because of our debt, whenever we're born, we're automatically, each one of us is responsible for like $8,000 worth of the national debt or something. You've heard of that. Well, the reason that is because back in 1932, or no, 33, 34, 35. It was either in 33 or it was either in 34 or 35. Because the country went through a bankruptcy, they needed something to back up this debt. So what the states did is they had this big meeting in Washington, in the United States corporate section there in Washington, and every governor of every state handed all of their citizenship, all of their people over as collateral to pay that debt. So when we're born, they collateralize us. It's just like the movie The Matrix. It really is. It's just like the movie The Matrix. We all think that we're living in a real world substance, when actually we've got this. There's this financial cloud that's in front of everybody, and nothing ever happens unless it has some type of commerce that backs it up. We're all collateralized. We are responsible. The states have pledged our substance to pay back the national debt. And it's been happening consistently over and over and over again for, what, 9, 10 decades now? Yeah, they are. Oh, yeah. But see, there's also other things, too. There's things that happen on the back end. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I see what you're saying there about the money being made from judges and attorneys. But there's things that happen on the back end. See, if you really want to be a powerful motherfucker in these courts, you have to learn banking law. You have to learn trust law and contract law. You learn how to talk like a banker, because if you look it up in Black Law's dictionary, every one of them, 1 through all the way up to what are up to now, 13. Look in every single Black Law's dictionary. What is a judge? A judge is a banker. They're bankers. You can look it up. Google it right now. Black Law's dictionary, number 1 or number 2 or number 3, whatever, and then go into the definition of a judge, or go into the definition of a banker, and look closely at what's being said. It's kind of weird. A judge is a banker. There's multiple definitions, but one of them is banker. You know, I'm a George Washington type. Yeah, you'd be surprised, man. Some of this stuff, you start getting into history, all these people who we are all told throughout school who are heroes, Abraham Lincoln, oh my God, those guys did some seriously bad shit to our country.
Hey, I have a bad joke for you, Tully.
What's that?
What did Abraham Lincoln say after his 3-day drunk?
What did Abraham Lincoln say after his 3-day drunk? What?
I freed who?
What?
I freed who?
Oh, I freed who?
Terrible joke, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, well, there's that that's a lot of people. A lot of people think about.
What do you say to a girl with 2 black eyes?
Nothing. You already done twice.
Sorry, I mean, these are bad jokes that I fucking know.
Right.
What do you got?
But yeah, guys, if you can help out, that'd be great.
Oh no,
You
go
know,
ahead.
through the
Please.
PayPal link down below.
Sure.
I mean, there's a lot more stuff. There's a lot more stuff that I really want to study, because once I started getting into this stuff about the courts and stuff, there's this contract law,
Come on, what do you got?
cool, awesome stuff that I can file at the Secretary of State's office. It's just like, dude, I really want to get into this stuff because it's really super fucking interesting and powerful.
What do you got?
It's really cool. It's really neat stuff.
I'm
The
trying
more
to
I
give you
get,
a minute.
the more I get into studying the judiciary, the more and trust law and stuff like that. It's really kind of cool. I mean, I'm almost excited about that stuff as I was when I was starting to do my go-karts. But I really don't want to get into the point to where I don't really. Hey, Thunder Divine, what's going on? Hey, guys. I'm waiting for a knock joke.
Little John jokes. I know you do. Nope. What?
I'm waiting for men to stand up to these tyrants. Yeah. Yeah, you'd be surprised about how many people out there are like, everybody wants change, and oh yeah, I'll help out, but when it comes right down to execution, people get scared about it. I remember I was down here at the warming shelter, and some shit was going on that I didn't like, and a few other people didn't like, and everybody's complaining about it, so we were going to petition. We were going to write up a big fucking report about what was going on, and everybody's going to sign it, and we're going to submit it. Well, they wrote it all up and stuff like that. When we went around to the people who were actually complaining about the shit, sign this thing, put your John Henry on there, say that you agree what this is being said, Nobody wanted to fucking do it. Nobody wanted to do it. Everybody instantaneously, the moment they saw action being taken, everybody pushed out. It's horrible. Everybody's so afraid of losing their assistance. Everybody's so afraid of losing their vouchers and their, it's just like, fucking Christ, stand up and do what's right. Because right now your ass is being controlled by everything that's being handed to your ass.
Come on, man.
It's horrible.
You gotta have a joke by now.
Yeah, there's a guy down here at the POV who has one of those motors on his bike. It's really kind of cool. Comes flying by here. It's really neat. It's one of those kits.
The hooker you pay to leave the house like you're still making house payments for.
I actually really like that one.
Yeah, that's right, Thunder. It will get worse.
I really don't think that's any worse than what do you tell a woman with two black eyes? You've already told her twice.
Really? Let me say it again. I have no criminal record. Have been a law-abiding, tax-paying, working member of society, and I have met my own kids 3 times in their lives, right here in America, not Russia. Yeah.
Is that why I can carry like?
You'd be surprised, or a lot of people don't understand that if you ever look at the intent in the congressional record and the process that created the Social Security Administration, the Social Security Act that came into play in 1975. Okay. That created all this fuckosity and all these family, intrusion of family, of government into our family and stuff like that. It all goes back to a program that was set up. I want to say way back in 1913, I think, something like that. I think. Maybe I'm getting it confused with something else, but it's a socialistic program. And I'm not talking about social to be social with people. I'm talking about social as in
The bad
social,
guy.
the social. You got communism, and then you got socialism. Socialism is having government come in and dictate everything. It's communism. It's a form of communism. Social security represents that. It's not being social with it's not being securing your social ability to go out into the world and visit friends and stuff when you retire. No, it's about creating a system of socialistic empire, and it's the security that people are going to be connected to. You can control people through benefits to secure the socialistic form of government. There, read it backwards. Yep, yeah, like freeing the slaves. That was just the primary reason behind the Civil War is because our contract with the banks of England were up, and the banks wanted to recontract with us. So Congress got together, the northern states and the southern states went up in there. We were going to, the northern states wanted to recontract with all these bankers over in England. Southern states didn't. They were like, this is bullshit. We've been under their wing for such a long damn time. This contract is over. We do not want to sign another contract. We don't want to keep being fucking creditors to these pieces of shit over there in England. The northern states were like, well, no, we kind of like this because the northern states were a lot more industrialized than the southern states were. The southern states had the cotton fields and all the slavery and all all that trafficking that was going on. So they had their ways of making things last instead of being creditors to somebody else. So the southern states got pissed off and they walked out. They walked out of Congress. Now, when that happens, our country no longer was a republic, because when you walk out of your meetings, they have to make a decision. They are there delegated to make a decision. And when the southern states walked out, that converted our Republic of the United States of America into, in essence, the democratic United States of America. So in essence, the southern states kind of dicked us over, but they were technically in the right. So when they walked out of Congress, and Congress had to make a decision, and they decided in favor of setting up the contracts with the bankers again and keep being creditors, that's what created the massive strain between the northern states and the southern states. And that's what created the Civil War. The Civil War was based upon banking and creditors and fucking having this central bank of Europe in the United States. The slavery thing was just window dressing. They just wanted to come up with some shit to make it more of a justified thing to get more people on board, because you can't go out and explain to the American people, hey, we've chosen to be fucking create more debt under these bankers, but the southern states have a whole system and a plan set up where they don't need to be creditors, and we don't like that. So we want everybody to be on board with us. So, you know, the American people ain't gonna understand that shit. You gotta study banking law and banking rules and credits and bonds and securities and shit. You gotta study all that crap before you understand it. So instead, what they do, let's just make it fucking under for slavery. Slavery was kind of an issue, but it wasn't as big as what everybody thinks. It's exactly like the fucking coronavirus shit. It was not as important as everybody thought it was, but you know, it shuts down the country, it fucks everybody over, people lose jobs, and fucking there's wars created and all sorts of shit. Makes people believe that something is worse than what it really is, when actually there's another agenda on the back end. And that's all stuff that I found that I've got in this briefcase, you know, stuff that I read. There's so much of our history that's been totally bastardized and just reversed and reverted opposite of what we've been told. Lincoln even, like I had stated before, there was some stuff that he did that just fucking dicked over the country, and then he realized he did the wrong thing, and then when he wanted to recorrect it and fix it, conveniently he got shot. Even under Roosevelt's New Deal back in 1933, when he announced the bankruptcy of the United States, when he announced it to the world, and they put HGR 192, House Joint Resolution 192, expressed that our country was bankrupt. We can't make any more laws, so we're going to be converting everything over to this fiat, non-monetary. Nothing's backing up this fucking greenbacks or money we would call today. Nothing's backing it up other than the belief that everybody believes it's worth something. Even that president, when he announced it and he signed all that stuff into operation, was it 2 or 3 years later, he was like, I cannot believe I just destroyed my country. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And that's where contract law comes in. There's buy plywood sheets. It's the new gold. Yeah. Plywood sheets is the new gold. Yeah. I'll give you a quarter of a plywood sheet for a pack of cigarettes. You know what's even funny? You know what's funny? Is that because after all this stuff started happening and the IRS was created, okay? You know, the only reason that money has any value to it, the way it operates in business, is because that's how you pay your taxes with it. You see, if I had a bag filled with 50 marbles, and I could go down to the gas station and give the teller, if they were interested and they preferred that form of medium of exchange, financial medium of exchange, I could give them 50 marbles to fill up my tank of gas. At the end of the year, when they got to do their taxes, and they've been doing those kind of mediums of exchange, those financial transactions, only using marbles, or could be tea, could be whatever, because the only thing is that it's an agreed upon amount of value to each person. It's just that at the end of the year, when he goes to do his taxes, he can't turn around and tell the IRS that he's got $20,000 or he's got 20,000 marbles to pay on his taxes. The IRS won't accept that. You can't even pay your taxes with fucking gold. You have to pay your taxes with Federal Reserve notes. The only reason money has any value or any importance in our society is because that's the only way the IRS will ever accept your taxes.
Hey, Tully,
Yeah?
you know who Jello Biafra is?
I've heard of that before. Jello Biafra?
Yeah. Henry Rollins.
I've heard of Henry Rollins.
But you have no idea who Jello Biafra is. Ever heard of Dead Kennedys?
Yeah, I've heard of Dead Kennedys. Yeah, they're all bands, aren't they? Like Misfits and
Okay, Jello was the lead singer for Dead Kennedys.
okay. What about him?
I'm just curious,
Oh.
because he is a very big governance. You know, he ran for mayor and won.
He ran for mayor and won? For what city?
San Fran.
Oh yeah? Yeah, Thunder, what have you been up to? Yeah, that's another thing. My damn notifications on YouTube don't work worth crap either. I mean, when I was back at home and I had my computer all set up, geez, well, no, it really wasn't doing that either. It wasn't notifying me of videos that people were putting up. I think the last video I saw Thunder put up was he was playing a game where he had a ship and he was trying to shoot these airplanes out of the sky. Oh no! Then the one I saw he was playing Conan. He was playing Conan, and I was like, why don't you try to get yourself in a position where you can see these women, because these women walk by and they have all these skimpy things on. It's like, heck yeah, dude, let's get a better shot of that. Hey, I'm a guy. It's my job to look at that stuff. Yeah, guys, so it's just like, yeah, these are pretty much the only kind of videos I can really do right now. And the last time I was at home was the other day, and just looking at that place, I mean, we would get into fights, and she would be like, "I'm doing everything. I do everything around here." Yeah, now she is doing everything, and nothing's getting done. She always said, "You don't do anything around here." It's like, "Oh, I do a lot around here. You just don't see it. You don't notice it. You choose to turn a blind eye to it, so that way you can tell everybody that I'm a fucking loser." They're very disrespectful. Didn't. I mean, it breaks my heart to know that this same woman is going to be raising a boy. What the fuck's going to happen to poor Cody? He's going to see his mom and his sister totally disrespecting him, not considering anything that he has to say really all that important. And now he's going to grow up being... Yeah, but the cold-hearted truth is that, yeah, they don't want me to come back home. They want me to come back home. They don't want to have a... They don't need anybody who's going to... They want to totally settle with being fucking pathetic, mediocre people. That's what they want to do. They don't want me back in the house because I'm the one who tries to raise them to a different level, a better people. They don't want to do that, so they don't want me back home. So in essence, because I've been away from the house so long, they've kind of grown used to me not being around, so they can do whatever they fucking want to do. I mean, Allie and Cody, they're not even in the house anymore. They've actually moved into their bedrooms. They brought their computers into their bedrooms, so they sit there in front of their fucking computers all day long. They burn their asses out, and then just get up and walk over to their bed and lay down and sleep. Get back up, get back on their computer the next morning. That's their life now. That's the life that mom, great mom, has allowed the children to turn into. My father is such a good guy, I can't even exaggerate what a good guy he is. Yeah. 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 It just breaks my heart to know that I made a conscious choice to stay with this family, to stay with these people, and to try and turn them into being people who wouldn't settle for mediocrity in this world. To be achievers. I don't know, you guys. It's actually, the temperature's actually kind of dropped here, and it's been 2 hours so far since I've been on this live stream. I'm going to shut it down. Pretty tired. And I got to get some sleep because I know once the heat hits us next week, well, within probably tomorrow, it's going to start getting really hot. Because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're supposed to have temperatures up to about 105. So I am not going to be a very happy camper sleeping. So I think I'm going to shut this down. But yeah, like I said, I've got the PayPal link down there below, and I've also got my address that's on my YouTube channel, the post office box address. If you guys can help out that way, that'd be cool too. I hate getting on here and doing this. I hate going on because it's like I'm like using my YouTube channel to panhandle. That's what it's like. That's what I feel. Fucking sucks. But I go out and I do work and I try to find stuff, try to make money other ways too. Yeah. Just got more crap that I gotta fucking deal with. The primary thing that I really need to do is I need to find a foundation. Some place where I can just put this trailer and not worry about getting any citations or fines and all that shit. You know, the cops come through here and always threaten everybody. Move, you can't sleep on the street. You can't be fucking camping in the town, blah, blah, blah. We're going to start writing up citations and giving you guys tickets and, you know. Yeah. Do free lawn care and do YouTube. See that guy's channel that does that? No, I didn't know that. I don't know if I want to do that. Do free lawn care? Yeah, he probably has a home. Oh God, I gotta take a shower. All right, guys. So it's 1 hour. Thanks, thanks, Atsar. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I see that. I get notifications on my PayPal all the time. So yeah, thanks, you guys. You have no idea how much that helps. That really does help a lot. Yeah, because like when I have massive gaps to work, you know, to go out and do something to make some type of money, you know, it's just like, you know, and I come across so many things that if I could go home and I had access to my garage, now I can't even move around in that damn thing. You wouldn't believe how well, yeah, go over to my channel and you'll go to the discussions page on my channel and you'll see the pictures of what the garage looks like now. I mean, I took that picture like 4 or 5 days ago. YouTube.com channel you can, okay. Yeah. Alrighty. I wonder if this will work. I wonder what would happen if I click on that. Oh. Right on. Oh wow, did we actually, oops, we lost him. Oh, okay, so it did disconnect me when I clicked on that. Okay. Alright. TikTok is the shit now. Yeah. Might go live. Yeah. I don't know how they get paid on TikTok either. Yeah, I clicked on that link. And it, geez, it paused my live stream. That was weird. The sadder the story, the more you make on TikTok. Really? Shit, I should do that. I should jump over to TikTok and experiment with that a little bit. Make a super omega sass. I don't know. That's just, I don't know. I don't like doing that kind of crap just to make money. You know what I'm saying? Because in essence, that's kind of like fraud, if you ask me. Oh, shoot. Got these little lights. These things are kind of cool. I got this one, and this one runs off of batteries, which kind of sucks. But then I've got this one, which is super awesome. I got this from a kid. Back purchase. Dark alley purchase. And it's a rechargeable thing. You know, you can plug in a charger and it charges the thing up, and then you've got this is the light. That's the switch. It's got high, low, and then off. And this dang thing is so awesome. I mean, it's metal construction and stuff. I was like, geez, I wish I knew where he got this so that way I can go get some more. But it's all metal. I use this dang thing up here. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can actually see this if I turn this thing around. Oh my God, I've been sitting on my butt too long. Let me move this stuff out of the way here. I'll turn the camera around. Can I turn the camera around? Yeah, I can. Okay. See, I used to have the trailer way down there, next to that fence over there. I had the trailer parked on the street way down there. Then I moved it up here. And yeah. This is what it looks like when it's all so I got like a little porch right there. And it's opening. Yep. I got another dead person laying on my floor. No, her name is Dana. She needed some place to stay, so I told her she could sleep on the floor of the trailer. Yeah. If you guys were around for that one live stream, Taven was in there. You guys remember that? Remember that crazy live stream a few days ago? You know, people were smoking meth behind me and all sorts of crap. All those people were fighting and yelling and craziness going on. Jeez. That video ultimately got taken down by YouTube because Taven was listening to music in the background and she was blaring it. It's too damn loud. Yeah, a 6-hour live stream. Completely shut down. YouTube refuses to allow it to go up, which is alright anyways, because I probably would have privatized the damn thing, because it, oh man, oh man, a lot happened on that day, and you know, it's stuff I can't control. You know, I can't control some of that, a lot of that I could not control. Couldn't tell people, all right, get out of here, and blah, 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 you know. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't know if Adsar was around for that one. I think Thunder came in on it. But, yeah. Pretty crazy. Well, alright guys. It's been 2 hours. Shut this down. Thanks everybody for showing up, chit-chatting, listening to me rant. But, yeah, it'll probably be, I don't know when I'm going to do another live stream. It's probably going to be after this heat spell, probably like maybe next week, maybe next Friday or something like that, maybe next Thursday, because, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, man. This shit's so damn exhausting. I don't deserve this. Jesus Christ. I hear more crazy coming up here. So, yeah, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna turn this live stream off before they get here. All right, I'll see you guys later.